Hello, I am Enna and I make jewelry and other kinds of art under AgAuCu. This is my March 2026 vlog. I'm starting off by finishing the necklace that I started in February. You can go watch the January-February vlog if you want to see the beginnings of it. At the end of February, I just wanted to add some more crushed tourmaline to the watch face, so that's what I'm doing here. I used my chasing hammer to smash the tourmaline. Don't do that. Bad idea. Don't do it.
It was so cute though how she was like, well, I'm not gonna come sit on your lap. I'm not gonna come over to you for pets. I'm just over here on this chair, 2 chairs away from you. Well, maybe come 1 chair closer. Why that book in your lap? I could be there instead.
Watches are very fiddly, so I'm doing my best here to keep it intact. I will put together a video of making this necklace so you can see more of the process, but this is basically the gist. Having to get the tourmaline to fit in between the glass and the watch face. Artist enrichment time. This is just something I do to make sure that I am practicing other art skills. So in this instance, I highlighted the model with a pencil highlighter, and now I am doodling over top of the clouds and the waves. This is a low stakes art practice. Like, I don't need to have the final result. I don't care if something gets messed up. It's not even really a sketch. It's making sure that I still engage that part of my brain and my hands. So I thought I would make some more desert drops and desert tears earrings because it's been a minute since I've done that. So I've been pulling out stones to use. I got howlite, amethyst, other amethyst, I don't remember, and Australian butter jasper. And this brings me to, I'm going through and figuring out what some unlabeled beads are. I just figured out that these ones are butter jasper. I thought this whole time that they were serpentine, but they're butter jasper. Let me show you. Here's serpentine. Here's butter jasper. The butter jasper is much smoother, whereas the serpentine has a lot of visual texture. That's what I'm doing today. Howlite, amethyst, dogtooth amethyst, serpentine, lapis lazuli, also dogtooth amethyst, angelite or angelite, I haven't looked that up to see how you're supposed to pronounce that, Australian butter jasper, cuprite, and glass. And I'm going to stop there, make 5 of each of these. Now I am photographing the Perlon drops. I had made a new one and never photographed it, so taking new photos for them. I will have another video with more details on the desert drops, desert tears, and upcoming desert petals earrings. You will see the desert petals earrings in a later clip. took new photos and video of the last pair of wildflower earrings, and then I also had a new pair of pearl-on drops. So I did that, and my mom and I went to an estate sale. I'll show these better tomorrow. We went for the 50% off day and I got these. But I wanted to show you, first of all, got my first customer appreciation sale order. Thank you so much, Nicole. This is such a cute order. I love how different in colors all the colors are. I mean, like, there's a little bit of blue going on, but you know, I think that's so fun. I wanted to show you what I have set up to do tomorrow, which is back to making new desert drops and desert tears earrings. Chosen all the beads, right, and I've matched them up now to pendants. And then I thought I would start a new variation. I'm going to call these desert petals, I think. What I want these to be are really bright and bold, big main beads. Yeah, I think those are going to be really fun, just like really playful. Let's catch up since last night's clip. First of all, the desert drops earrings are all made except for hooks. Did I say desert drops? I meant desert tears, if I did. What I'm going to do now is organize matching beads for these earrings, and then I will probably finish up the desert drops. Well, I haven't even started them other than matching beads, so make the desert drops, and then I'll make these. Oh, and I wanted to address this bead. This is just like a spectacularly beautiful piece of agate, so I pulled it out of its bag to do something special with. Well, it would be better if you could see, but I don't know, my camera's showing really dark. Yeah, it's super beautiful patterning. Got a lot of the crystal druzy effect in it, so gonna do something with that at some point. That's one way I make jewelry, is I pull out beads that I think look particularly nice, and then I make something just for them. I haven't packed the order yet. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to be doing a gift with orders, and I have to decide today. I have to decide for sure today so that I can get this order packed and sent. Hopefully I'll check back in later with an idea about that, whether or not I'm doing it. One more thing, I want to show you the pieces I got at the estate sale yesterday. Yesterday was half off day, so my mom and I went back and got some stuff half off. We didn't get anything the day before. Anyway, this is a brooch, a pin, and it's missing a pearl, but that's okay. I can replace that with something, either another pearl or something more fun. Not like fun, but like whimsical. Pearls are fun as they are. But yeah, I'm gonna convert it from a pin to something else, probably to a pendant. And then these are two screwback earrings. See, they're a little bit bent. Well, this one seems fine, but this one's a little bit bent, whatever you call this part of a screwback earring. And I'm gonna decide whether I'm gonna keep these for myself or convert them into pendants. And I think probably convert them into pendants, because this style of earring itself isn't something I would necessarily wear. But they're so pretty, and I think these are resin. I think they might be like a stone and resin composite, and with the copper flakes in there. I think they're just like so pretty. Partially because I'm very partial to partially because I'm very partial to copper. Like, I think those are just super duper lovely. I think I'll probably just take trim this part off, saw it smooth, oh my god, sand it smooth, and then convert these into pendants and probably use them separately, or maybe as a pair of earrings in some way. I don't know. That's a future me issue. I just wanted to show these to you. Okay, back to work. Back to matching these. Oh, I want to finish this first. So that's like my daylight tasks done. I think I'll make tomorrow photography day and photograph hopefully all 3 sets. And today I'll just make these 2 and work on the order and gift with order if there's going to be one. Just wanted to say this is the first time I've worked with steel in months and months, and the very first thing I did was stab myself. Like, I made a loop and stabbed myself with it immediately. And then I when I clip the steel, I cover it so that it hopefully doesn't go flying anywhere, and they still do. But one of the pieces, like this, shot out like it does and right into my finger. And so it was the same finger each time, and the second time was way worse. And now there is a cute little Cinnamoroll bandage on it. Kenneth and I are now joking that the steel thirsts for blood, which it does, apparently. Okay, the desert tears are all done. They've all got hooks on them. The desert, what was that? Scrap wire. The desert drops are all done. They all have hooks on them. Whoops. So I've started working on the desert petals. Tentative title. These have a big ol' hole. Big ol' hole. Oh, wait, here's the design. Right. Despite my moral opposition to glue, not really, but glue does fail, and so it's not my favorite. What I'm going to do is put glue on the inside of these, and then put them on top of the, I call them scrap beads, basically. So I'm going to put them on top of the scrap beads. This is what I look like when I clip steel wire, by the way. These are so cute. I'm so happy. I need to clean my desk. So actually I'm gonna do that now because this is driving me nuts. I guess I'll bring you along. What I failed to explain is that I wear the face shield to protect my face from the stainless steel clippings. They literally, not literally shoot, they metaphorically shoot around. When I clip them, they go flying at a high velocity, and the last thing I want is them to end up in my eyeballs. So better my fingers than my face, but I've started wearing the face shield to help prevent that chance. And yes, I have to clean my desk like every 3 days or something. It always gets like this. I don't know if it's me or the nature of the job. Alright, here I am packing the first customer appreciation sale order. If you have missed the memo, my customer appreciation sale is a replacement for a Black Friday sale. I no longer hold a Black Friday sale, and instead I hold a customer appreciation sale later or earlier, depending on how you look at it. Usually it's in January, February. I literally just forgot this year, and so I held it in March. Yeah, this was the first order. My customer appreciation sale and my anniversary sale are the only 2 sales I hold. Occasionally I will put individual pieces on sale, but otherwise that's it. And I try to make it like a good sale. Like if it's a new item, it will be 20% off, but everything else is upwards of 20% off. Sometimes 50% or more. I think it's a good sale. And I'd say other people do too, because you guys come and shop it. In case you're new here or you just haven't seen one of my packing videos, I put jewelry on backing cards, and then the washi tape on the back is to cover the pokey ends of the hooks or to secure chain onto the cards. Then I wrap them with tissue paper and ribbon and decorate them. Alright, so I did decide on sending out a gift with orders. I didn't tell anyone what it was though, because this is a prototype. I've never made bookmarks before, and I finally have, and I am thrilled with them. I kept one for myself. So this was the very first bookmark that I made, and I went with a celestial theme for this one. Oh, a psalm for the wild belt. It's part of the Monk and Robot duology. So good. I immediately read the second book, and then I bought the 2 books in one. Just absolutely excellent books. And here I'm struggling to pack the bookmark because it's prone to wrinkling, that particular ribbon. Doing my best. Again, the desert petals will be in a video with the desert tears and desert drops, explaining more of this. I do explain some of it, but gluing was a success. Redo that, finish the rest of these. Order packed. I think in the last clips I showed you the gift with orders for my customer appreciation sale. I was going to show you how out of control the stamping got on a thank you note, but I already packed it away, so I'm not going to take it back out. Here you can see a sample. This is the getting the ink off the stamps. I swear this is pretty much what the thank you note ended up looking like. My bad. Oh, I added some more to this. I added this quote stamp. I don't really understand what it means. Some things in the ocean have always been constant. Yes. But I think it fits. And then I added some hammerhead shark stamps. And now apparently I need to clean out my phone storage. So I guess I'll do that, get that going, and then I will work on these. Today I am going to at least photograph the Desert Tears earrings. I'm hoping to get the Desert Tears and the Desert Drops done. I am on a pause on the Desert Petals because my palm is bruised from making all of these. So they can wait a minute. Nobody knows they're coming, so there's no pressure. Doing the Desert Drops now. I got myself a treat. It's half matcha and half almond milk and 100% what I need on a day where deep breaths make me wheeze. Yay! I meant when, not where. I'm working on a second bookmark, and I found this ribbon in my stash of fabric, and I think it's really perfect for a bookmark and so fun. The only problem is, you can see it sort of has a curve to it, but I have to straighten it anyway, iron it anyway, so I'm going to hope that that fixes the curve. Okay, I got the ribbon totally straight, and I seal the ends with a lighter. Now I'm going to put the crimp on this end. There are these pliers that are wide and flat and shaped sort of like wedges that you can use for this, but I don't have them, and I don't think I can justify buying a pair of them until I know that the bookmarks are going to be successful. So for now we just get to watch me struggle to get the crimp totally closed. For these bookmarks, I went with slightly heavier charms because the ribbon is obviously much thicker, so it can bear the weight of heavier charms. I have these triangle charms with this geometric stripe that I think were meant to be with this ribbon. And then larger bright gold moons. And for anyone who got these, just to be clear, the monetary value between the two kinds of bookmarks is pretty much the same. They're very different materials, so they have very different costs, and it basically balances out. I would say the biggest advantage of these ones with the patterned ribbon is that they're not going to wrinkle like the satin ribbon. And as long as I'm going to talk about the books, this book, Fallen City, terrible. Absolutely terrible. I gave it 1 star because it had an interesting premise politically and religiously, and it was so bad. The editing, the plot, the lack of plot, the characters, horrible. There's a second book and I'm not reading it. On the other hand, I'm so happy with these bookmarks. Making a lot of one item is incredibly satisfying. So like right now I'm like, look at them all lined up. They look fantastic. And then I'm gonna make a different style of bookmark than Finn is crying. Hold on. To be clear, Finn is fine. I just have the door closed and he wanted out of the room. Alright, so I'm making a different style of bookmark where one end is gonna have the crimp and the other end is gonna have a jump ring. There you go. Big jump ring to accommodate the ribbon, and then I used a black and white version of that same triangle charm. And I think that looks very elegant. I would say I like this one a lot, but I liked all of them a lot. Okay, I've got all the gifts with orders. Yeah, the gifts for orders done. I've already filmed that. I filmed all of the pieces that I haven't already filmed content for that sold. Oops. I'm gonna pack. I'm going to take you through packing some of the jewelry, not all of it. I did some of it on short form and just didn't film all of it because that would be so much footage. This takes me so long. And we would all be here for 3 hours just watching that. I think I will just leave you with music and the faint sounds of packing, and I'll come back when I have something else to say. Okay, I don't think I've explained my new very teeny tiny detail way of wrapping jewelry. I used to try to make it so that this part was folded in like a present usually is. But I realized if I instead just to like ignore where the seam goes, fold the ends over where the jewelry is. Like this is the back of the card, this is the front where the jewelry is. If I do that, it's just an extra layer of protection for the jewelry. The hook backs or the chain is less likely to break than the glass, right? Not that I get any breakages. I've had one piece break that I have ever heard of, but I'm always thinking about that kind of stuff. So thought I would explain that. I'm gonna go ahead and pack a couple orders, and then I'm going to film one for short form, so vertical instead of horizontal. So I'm gonna go through all of this and I'll come back. Oh, and while I'm doing this, I'm watching rock hounding videos in New Mexico. That's where I am. And like supposedly everyone has some sort of minerals in their dirt, right? But supposedly or reportedly we have a bunch of agates, different kinds of agates and chrysocolla and just like a bunch of minerals that grow on both. I'm like watching it like, can I just go in my backyard and do this? I don't know if legally I can because we border a park. I did this not well, I'll redo this one. Yeah, we border a park and I don't know what the laws are regarding rock hounding on my own property. So I'm gonna see if I can look that up and maybe go do that. That would be really fun. Really cool. When I said park, I meant national forest specifically. I got the order and the thank you note mixed up for the short form video. There is nothing more terrifying, I think, to a small business owner other than like tax fraud, accidental tax fraud, than mixing up orders. So I've straightened it out. I had to open all of them and I've labeled them, which is something I normally do anyway. I just forgot. It's correct now. This is the correct thank you note with the correct order, and so is the other one. But I guess I'm gonna have to address that now in my short form video, because what if they see it? One of them sees it and is like, that's not right. At least they're getting the correct pieces with the correct note. It would have been the correct pieces either way, but it would have been the wrong notes. So, okay. Phew. What I did was I went back to the start of unpacked orders to write the thank you notes. And I understand that that's my habit, right? But the order I had packed for short form was not the first one. You better believe I am quadruple checking now. And I'm going to go back to the order that I mixed it up with right here and write the names of the pieces that this person ordered and put them with each package, which means opening each one and rewrapping it. But you know what? It's worth it just to be sure that I'm not mixing anything up. Oh, and I like to put the name in with each piece because if someone's gifting an item, that way they don't have to open it up if they just want to leave it wrapped. And they can just give it to the person knowing that that is the correct piece inside of the package. I don't know if anyone does that, but that's my theory. Like that's my thought process behind it. An interesting thing to note for this sale is that I sold only earrings, nothing else, just earrings. Now, to be fair, most of my shop is earrings because they're the most fun for me to make. But usually I sell like a necklace or a bracelet or something during a sale, but not only earrings this time. I don't know like what to take away from that information, but I do think it's interesting. Normally, I would write Boundless Seas earrings, right? But because literally everybody only bought earrings, I'm saving myself the hand pain of writing earrings. Once you leave school, at least for me, I don't handwrite very much. This is like the most handwriting I do is thank you notes. And boy, is the cramping real. You know, you go from writing 5-page essays in an hour to doing little thank you notes. And I cannot believe like the muscle pain. It's crazy. It's like the muscles have all just atrophied. Who knew? I did that wrong. Went that way. Kenneth is upstairs making us dinner right now, so I'm gonna quit after this. Have dinner, watch our shows, go to bed. Okay, that's that order completely checked over. Now I'm gonna bind it together, because I do not want to be making this mistake again. I chose this envelope specifically for this order because I thought it would go really well with the Eyes Full of Light earrings. Okay, and that's going to go in the correct envelope for that person. And then tomorrow I'll wrap everything in bubble wrap and pack up the gift with order. Okay, this took a good bit of trial and error to start this jellyfish. This is the first jellyfish I'm making. The beads I bought a while ago. So now I have to work on like the top and then the rest of it. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's gonna be like a wall hanging, but like a window hanger or something. I am so incredibly excited about this. Like, look at that. Is that not a jellyfish? I think that's a jellyfish. Okay, as usual, I got stuff from Michael's. There's one more thing coming, but it's like this. Pretty much identical to this, just different a little bit. These are for a pot of flowers. I love that whoever packed this put everything inside of this container that would fit. I think that was genius. I got 3 different sizes, I believe, of velvet ribbon. Hi, Frey. For bookmarks. Yeah. So I got like navy, pomegranate, and sky blue to go with the AgAuCu colors right now. I got myself a canvas in an unusual size. Some glass glue. I have a couple glass things to glue. Some more bookmark crimps. And some more colors. I've only had shiny gold. Hi. What are you doing? And then 2 ribbon bundles. Also mostly for bookmarks, but in some more fun colors than orange and green. I mean, there's more green here, but yeah. Oh, and right, in this container, I do a lot of paper crafts, so that's what this container is for. I already have 4 of them. And then this container, which is a container of small containers, also for paper storage, odds and ends storage. You know, the gift tags I give with AgAuCu orders, I have to keep all the stuff to make those, and that's hard to store. So These have been working really well. I have one more of these, and 2 should do it, and then 5 should do it for this. Let's go put these where they go while we wait for this one to come separately by itself, all alone. So when the other yellow sprig gets here, I'll figure out how to arrange the sprigs on the back. That looks pretty cute. I think I'm not like good at flower arranging. So that's my effort. There's another new leaf inside of it. There we go. Okay. I'll let those figure that out now. I'm sure you can kind of tell, but I am very excited about these jellyfish and I can't wait to finish them as like a whole collection someday. So much to do before that. Right here I'm making the thumbnail for the packing of January, February Patreon, January, February, like 2021 or something, the video for that. Yes, I am always playing catch up. I'm making this in Procreate, and it's going to totally change from what you see me working on to what it's going to end up looking like. Well, not totally, but mostly, especially the text. Here I'm seeing what it looks like teeny tiny, to see if it's appealing at all. So I obviously am looking at my nails a lot while I'm working on filming stuff and making stuff. I'm looking at my hands like a lot of my day. I wonder if that's why I love nail polish so much. You know, I spend so much time looking at my hands, I want to look at something interesting. So here I am, painting them. This is just a glitter topper. I guess it's a flake topper, not a glitter topper, but samey same. I also had filmed a bunch of me working on YouTube video scheduling, but none of it's going to work out. And it might someday in the future, but I don't think that, you know, you all need to hear about my intentions when I'm not going to be able to implement them for like a year or something. Sorry. Okay, today I'm going to swap these hooks out with steel for their new owners, and then I'm going to finish, hopefully, the desert petals, or at least make some progress on the desert petals, start gluing the next wood beads, and finish this pair. That might be it for today, depending on how long the Desert Tears takes. My next plan for this piece is making a second one, like an identical one. I'm going to keep one for myself, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. So I'm going to make an identical one, more or less. We'll see if I get any other ideas while I'm making it. So if I finish Desert Tears today, I will start working on the second jellyfish and figuring out a hanger for it. I also need to see if there's any digital content to post today. I don't think I have any shorts ready, but I definitely have photos ready. So I think I'll actually do that first, and then the Perlon drops, and then Desert Petals. Yeah, that sounds good. Ooh, I've got some stuff to check off. Done. Actually, did I finish this? No, I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna finish that first, then do the Perlon drops, etc, etc, etc. This is done. digital content first, bye. On another note, you haven't actually heard from me in about a week, and that's because my period started, and that drains the life out of me. Along with having to go off my ADHD meds. The combination made it very difficult to get anything done last week. And I started a new allergy shot serum, so I kind of took a week off. Not really. I was still posting and stuff, I just didn't do any physical work, except the jellyfish at the beginning of the week. Okay, the video for these is rendering, so while that's rendering, I'm going to start working on the hooks for these. I'm also going to actually finish the hooks on these while I'm at it. If you haven't seen me do this before, the current steel hooks that I have, I trim because both the catch and the hook itself are too long. The hook stabs into the neck, at least for me it does, and anyone I've asked it does, and the catch is difficult to actually get the end of the hook into because it's so long. You have to really squeeze it. So first I trim them to a length that I've tested to be a good length, and then I have to file them to make them as unsharp as possible. It's steel, so it's still gonna be sharp, but I do my best. And eventually the files die. I actually use a bunch of nail files that I've gotten as complimentary gifts with nail polish purchases, and I haven't bought nail polish in years, and I still have files to get through. Someday I will get to switch to the Dremel, but for now, this is what I'm doing. And usually I do this over an extractor fan. Sometimes I just don't feel like getting up and getting it. As with the hammering, do as I say, not as I do. You don't want to be breathing this in. The chances aren't that high. It's steel, it's heavy, and it's not like I'm making it into fine particles, but still. And if you're ever swapping hooks or you're a jewelry maker yourself, this is how you close this style of hook. It's pretty easy. You just squeeze the loop closed and then you tilt the bar back down, the catch bar back down. And then with these ones in particular, I have to make sure that the catch is parallel to the bar. And there we go, there's those all done. And yes, 2 pairs of Pearl-On drops sold right after I listed them. Pretty sure it's because I sent out an email about them. About the new Pearl-On drops and new desert tears and new desert drops. Use your email list, people. And here's the mess that this makes. That usually goes in the extractor fan. Yesterday I talked about like just having been on my period and kind of not doing anything for work for that whole time, but I'm like right back in it today. I'm not on my period anymore, and I just spent about 4 hours putting away beads. I keep a bowl full of miscellaneous beads that like I find on the floor or whatever, and then at some point I put them away. These are the ones that are left and I can't figure out where they belong. Yeah, it took me like 4 hours to put all of that away, which is insane. I haven't really done anything else today. Okay, since I last spoke to you, I managed to do a little bit of a turnaround. I made most of the rest of the pairs of the Desert Petals earrings, and then I've got the remaining pair. That one's hanging, and then the other one is in my hand until the glue dries enough where I can also hang it. But yeah, I'm really happy with how these look. Yeah, so here's all these. I'm gonna finish up the green pair and put some hooks on them, and then hopefully check in with you after that. Look what I found in a box of crafting supplies of mine in the garage. A bunch of these earrings that I've used for other things and a bunch of prisms. I'm pretty excited. I think the earrings are gonna be the hangers for the jellyfish if I can figure out how. This is the end of the video. I'm so sorry I didn't say bye.